Hello, beautiful. I'm your host, Nicole Goff. Welcome to the Ecstatic Life Podcast, the podcast for women who want to live fully embodied, nervous system regulated, open-hearted, radiant, and alive. Here we explore the practices, modalities, and lived rhythms that return you to yourself, to your heart, to your body, your intuition, and your divine spark. This podcast is for women who are ready to awaken their inner creatrix, activate their inner manifester, and remember, an ecstatic life isn't a destination. It's the path we're walking together. Hello, beautiful, and welcome to the Ecstatic Life Podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Goff, mother of 5, feminine reclamation coach, and here to tell you all about tuning in to your softness, your slowness, and reading your life with pleasure. Yes, this is going to be a juicy episode, and let's just go ahead and dive right into it. There has been a lie that has been told to women for so many years now that our power comes from our masculine energy, comes from competing with men, comes from striving and pushing and being in that masculine. And, I think a lot of this had to do with women entering the workforce in a way that put us in competition to men. But really, this has been going on since before that, since we have had our feminine powers stripped away from us, obfuscated, hidden from us. I mean, we were burned or outcast or myriad other things if we were in our feminine power for hundreds of years. And then in more modern history, we have been taught that we need to compete with other women, compete with men. And we do this by being in our masculine energy, by emulating the masculine structure. And so we push our bodies, we push ourselves. We, are in this go, do, masculine hustle culture mentality all of the time. And that's not where our power actually comes from. This is a lie that has been fed to us. And our worth and our power doesn't come from doing more. It doesn't come from holding it all together with clenched teeth and having a tight grip on everything and micromanaging things. That's actually survival. That's actually trauma. For our nervous systems, for our feminine nervous systems. And yes, the female nervous system is wired differently than the male nervous system. And sometimes you're going to hear me talk about masculine and feminine energy. And sometimes you're going to hear me talking about the male and the female body. And these are actually two different things. So within all of us, we have both the masculine and the feminine energies. And the female body is not designed, the female nervous system is not designed to be in that masculine energy all the time. The male nervous system is more designed for that. The male nervous system operates on a 24-hour cycle. The male energy operates on a 24-hour cycle, like the sun. The female energy is much more fluid, has much more ups and downs, is cyclical. And so we are not wired for this kind of hustle day to day. And it actually is frying our nervous systems out. We are not designed to hold this much structure all the time. And in this culture that we have been entrained into thinking that it is normal, it is weighing on us. It is causing burnout in our bodies, in our hearts, in our minds, in our souls. It is causing trauma. It is causing us to be in survival mode, our nervous systems to be acting out of survival mode. And not to mention, and I don't like to throw the word, the patriarchy out. It's not about demonizing men, but the current structure that we have been under the patriarchal structure has been very hard on the feminine. It has been very difficult to survive. And so many of us are carrying around trauma in our nervous systems, trauma in our bodies, trauma that we are holding on to, that we are carrying with us all the time. And so we're living braced. We're living braced in survival mode. The statistics are that over half of women have experienced some sort of interpersonal trauma, sexual trauma. And that on a collective level, not to mention, as I was saying before about, the burning of women, the witch trials, the witch wound that we all carry. We carry this from our ancestors. We carry this from our lineage. So all of this combined, this structure that we live in, our day-to-day hustle and grind, this, baggage that we're carrying from our mothers and grandmothers, that we ourselves are carrying from a life of being taken advantage of, or put down, or, traumatized in other ways, that we are carrying this need to people please, this need to try to compete with men and hustle. We are carrying all of this. And honestly, it's just exhausting. And if we're being honest with ourselves, most of us, especially moms, I think, but most women are living in this survival mode and just putting one foot in front of the other and trying to survive each day. Whether it's in motherhood or partnership or our careers or just generally day-to-day life, we are living with this pressure to do, this pressure to perform, this pressure to show up in this way that is exhausting for us. So here's the secret that I'm here to tell you today. Your nervous system is wired for pleasure. That's right. We are not designed to be in hustle, output, linear, forward, action-oriented mode all the time. We are wired for, number one, safety, and also for pleasure. And for us, safety and pleasure are very much intertwined. We are wired for softness. We are wired for flow. And if we lived in a culture that supported women in our natural state, supported us to be the fucking goddesses that we are supposed to be, this would be available to us. We would be able to live soft lives. We would have communities of other women around us supporting us so that mothering wasn't something we did from survival, that mothering wasn't something that we did all alone. We would have built-in time for self-care. We would have built-in time to follow what lights us up. We would have pleasure-filled lives. And when I talk about pleasure, I'm not talking about sexuality, though these things are obviously connected. I am talking about simple pleasures, sensual activities, because women are wired for these sensory experiences. I'm talking about things like that first sip of warm coffee or tea in the morning, or being able to relax in a sunny window and read a book, or the feeling of something soft on your skin, like when you put on a silk robe, these kind of pleasures. And to be able to slow down and indulge in these little day-to-day pleasures, it's actually a necessity for women. It's actually what keeps us in our aliveness, in our femininity and in our feminine energy, and feeling safe and expansive in our nervous systems. This is about following that gentle yes in your body. It's about following the things that make you feel lit up, what I call your hell yeses, the things that you're like, of course I'm in, of course. This is about following those kinds of pleasures and living a life that honors that is a need for you. As a woman, you're going to thrive in softness and relaxation and thrive with sensation, with joy, with things that light you up. This is where you're going to thrive. You don't earn these things. These aren't things that you maybe get at the end of the day after working your fingers to the bone, cooking and cleaning and, whatever you do at your job and caring for your kids and all the myriad things that we do day to day, hour to hour, our never ending checklists as a woman. This isn't something you earn like a bubble bath after a long, hard day. This is actually like a way of being, a way of living that you can tap into that honestly opens you up to this side of yourself that you probably don't even remember existed. Because most of us aren't allowing ourselves to be tapped into this. Or our nervous systems are so fried, so dysregulated that we aren't able to. And so that's why in the work that I do with women and the feminine reclamation coaching that I do, it always starts with the nervous system and finding safety in the nervous system. Because like I said, the pleasure is so tied to the safety. If we don't have this safety, just take sex for example. You can't open your body to someone else if you are feeling unsafe. Unsafety creates that tension and creates that closure and that constriction, right? And so in order to really feel into that pleasure, in order to really experience it, to be able to be present for that and to have the capacity to hold it, first, you need the safety in your body. First, you need the safety in your nervous system. And this can be done through practices like breath work, EFT tapping. There are somatic practices that really help with this. For me, one of the best ways to access it, which is such a feminine, pleasure-filled activity, is dance. Anyone can put on their favorite playlist and dance. And it's almost like, for me, a religious practice. Like ecstatic dance is my church. And, my daily worship is dancing and allowing my body to move. But we can start accessing this nervous system safety. We can start learning to heal our nervous systems through these various different modalities. And we can then start actually learning how to honor our pleasure, to honor our desires, what feels good, and giving it to ourselves. And this can look different for each woman, right? One of the things that I've noticed, dancing seems to be a universal. I, off of the top of my head, cannot think of one woman who does not resonate with dance as something that is a pleasure-filled activity for them. If you're out there, leave a comment. But I would actually go as far as to say, if you're a woman and you don't enjoy dance, that is probably a trauma response. There's probably trauma stored in your body, and there's probably some somatic healing that needs to be done. So that is definitely one super potent way to start accessing that pleasure. But build in little touch points, little moments of pleasure in your day-to-day life. And upon waking, when you can tie these activities, habit stack is what they call it, when you can tie these activities to something that you're going to be doing on a daily basis, then that is the best way to ensure that you're going to do it. Because you don't want pleasure to be another thing on your freaking checklist, right? Another thing you have to do. So upon waking, I wake and every morning I do breath work. I do some sort of meditation. I do some sort of movement. And these are things that are not only healing for my nervous system, but that help me become embodied, because that's a big part of it, embodiment, getting into your body, feeling into your body. But they're also pleasurable activities for me. So midday, taking a break, you've been sitting at a desk or cooking, cleaning, whatever the thing is you've been doing all day, taking a break from that midday and putting on a playlist and dancing wherever you're at, move it out, move it through your body. Or in the evening when you're cooking dinner, that's one of my favorite times. Dancing and singing in the kitchen while I cook is pretty much nightly activity. But find ways to tie these things in to your day-to-day and make sure you're taking little breaks. I mean, you could even utilize your phone and set an alarm, set a timer for pleasure breaks throughout the day. Grounding, going outside barefoot, getting the sun on your skin, doing a little stretching, play with your dog. Just things that just feel good and doing them just for that purpose of feeling good. Life was never meant to be something that you're supposed to survive. We're here, we're given these bodies, this life. It's my belief that we do have, multiple lives that we come back to. But in this iteration, in this body, you have this one life, right? And it is a gift. It is a gift, and we need to learn to appreciate it for the gift that it is. This life is not something meant to be survived. It's something that's meant to be pleasurable. It's something that to be embodied, to be able to have these senses, to be able to experience the world in this way is such a gift. And so learning to come home to your body, learning to feel safe in your body, learning to enjoy being in your body is so important. And especially for those of us with female bodies, for the feminine nervous system, the feminine body. And doing this work is not about fixing yourself. Again, it's about coming home to yourself. This isn't another thing that we need to manipulate and work on, or a checklist that we need to go down, a thing that's broken that we need to fix. This isn't that energy at all. This is actually about finding what really feels alive for you. This is deep self-work rooted in self-love and self-exploration. Know thyself, right? This is about getting to know who you are on the inside and what feels good to you and what feels alive to you. Because in there's this version of you that is steady and open and rooted, no matter what is happening around you, that you can stay open-hearted no matter what is happening, no matter what chaos, no matter, if someone's being mean, no matter what. There is a part of you, a very feminine part of you that can be accessed through this work that is truly grounded in love. And this type of living isn't something that is taught to us. This wisdom is not something that we know. I imagine that there's a lot of women listening to this going, yeah, good for you. But that kind of slow, pleasure-filled, juicy life isn't available for me. Well, again, I am a homeschooling mom of 5 kids. I have a long history of trauma, a lot of years of drug dependency and PTSD, and I was coming from a place of such deep trauma, so disconnected from my body. After the years that I had suffered this trauma, I was very much checked out of my body. And so this practice, and it is a practice. These are tools that you can learn. These tools that can help you to regulate your nervous system, to come back into your body and to begin feeling pleasure in every way and connecting with yourself and loving yourself. These tools are learnable tools. This isn't just for some special subset of women. This is for anyone who's willing to do the daily work of showing up for yourself, because that's what this is about. This is about showing up for yourself and loving yourself enough to be patient with yourself and go step by step so that you can slowly begin to open up your heart, slowly begin to open up your body and your energy, and to let pleasure back in, to let softness back in, to let joy back in. This is how we are meant to be. This is how we are meant to operate on a daily basis. Not just some special thing we get to access when we have a date night or, at the end of a long work week. This is a way of living. And if you are interested in learning more about how to harness this power, about how to drop into your feminine energy, about how to soften and to relax and to heal your nervous system, I have an upcoming workshop that is designed to do just that. And I would love to welcome you into it. There will be links in the show notes for more information and to join. So here is to softening, to following your pleasure, and to creating a life that feels so juicy and so alive for you. I love you, and I will see you all next time.